is pro-God, leading us to understand that as human beings, we are a family of one blood. We all bleed the same. We thank you for the beauty of ethnicity, of skin color, not to divide us, but to unite us. We are not colorblind. We celebrate diversity. Lord, we thank you for President Trump, his promises made and promises kept. Please continue to grant him your love, compassion, courage, and wisdom. Bless him, his family, his administration, his supporters, and yes, his enemies. Finally, Lord, forgive us our sins. Heal us from within and without, from womb to tomb. God bless humanity and America with 4 more years with Donald J. Trump in your hands as our president. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Everybody sing. Amen. Give God a hand clap.
That's my mama. See her, you better represent.
We love you, Alveda.
Please remain standing and welcome to the stage Herman Cain, who leads the pledge of allegiance to the great American flag.
Very good.
Let us say the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and remain standing.
Performing today's national anthem, Miss Vivian Childs.
Okay, Miss Bill.
Come on, Vivian.
And I know everyone knows it, and at any time you feel that you can join in with us. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran well, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senior Advisor at Donald J. Trump for President, Inc., Miss Katrina Pierson.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Georgia.
Hey.
Oh, wait. Judging by our registration, hey, Florida. Alabama, Colorado, Michigan, Washington, Missouri, Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, Nebraska, Louisiana, Tennessee, New York, Illinois, the District of Columbia, and my home state of Texas. Welcome to the official campaign launch for Black Voices for Trump. It is truly an honor to be here with you today on yet another historic Donald J. Trump moment. In 2016, Donald Trump did more to bring African Americans and other minorities into the Republican fold than the previous 3 decades.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
By showing up and making his case. Because for 30 years, minority outreach has been this lip service from the GOP, and that has proven to consistently fail. Guess what? That's about to change. In less than a tenth of that time, Donald J. Trump has demonstrated that an ounce of prosperity is worth a pound of pandering.
Right.
And the Trump campaign is not taking those electoral gains for granted in 2020. We know that outreach alone is not going to cut it. Success will come from results, from promises made and promises kept. So we can skip the patronizing politicking that you will see from the Democrats, because we have a candidate who is already fully invested beyond his words. We can offer tangible results while they will continue with meaningless rhetoric. For decades, Black Americans have been left behind by both parties because of big government and special interest policies. But as of 2016, President Trump has put our families front and center, just as he promised as a candidate. What do you have to lose, he said.
Yeah.
Today, he can say, look what you have gained. But you will not hear about that in the mainstream press. Because they don't want you to know about these gains, whether it be the historic unemployment rate, increased capital for minority-owned businesses, massive amounts of money in scholarships for historically Black colleges, or the simple reinforcement of the protection of our right to speak in favor of and serve our Lord. They don't want you to know the truth. The truth that thousands of fathers, sons, mothers, and daughters will be home for Christmas because of President Trump's criminal justice reform policy.
That's right.
Thousands of forgotten people will be given a second chance at life
That's right.
and the American dream.
That's right.
The truth is that for the first time in American history, the majority of new hires between the ages of 25 and 54 are people of color. President Trump has proven his commitment through actions, while all the other politicians will just talk. We've heard it all before. But instead, they'll try to distract you with Russia, racism, impeachment, whatever the next great hoax they can come up with to prolong presidential harassment.
Fake news.
But he will stand tall and he will fight through it all, because President Trump intends to keep his promises to America. That's real outreach.
All right.
That is quantifiable results. And this message that the Black Voices Coalition will take into communities of color all over this country. Today you will hear about many of these policies that the media won't extensively cover. Today you will hear from your president, in his own words, what he has accomplished for us. Things that the previous administration wouldn't even attempt.
That's right.
Right.
Tell it, Katrina.
Today, you will not have to take my word for it, because it will be painfully obvious to the press that there is no greater champion for Black America than President Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
And I say that from personal experience. I have spent the last decade of my political career trying to figure out why no one cared about our children. No one cared about our children. I could not figure out why so many of our own people would continue to accept failure
Right.
from Democrat politicians. The failure of public schools. Our kids cannot read and write English and are required to speak and write Spanish.
Yeah.
It is unacceptable. And I, for one, am going to make sure Black America knows that our children have a champion. I could not figure out why so many of our people would accept the fact that our communities struggle for basic amenities. Grocery stores, pharmacies, with no shortage of a liquor store.
Right. That's it.
Or an abortion clinic.
Why have people of color accepted failure as a lifestyle?
Yep, come on now.
Democrat politicians have proven time and time again they do not care about our children.
Right.
In fact, they have prioritized the children of illegal aliens over our own. People who have not even made it to this country get more attention than our kids. My heart breaks. We can no longer afford to elect people who prioritize non-citizens over our own families.
That's right.
Just because they look like us.
Right. Say something. Yes, sir.
We as a community have a very limited time to change that trajectory. And that's why I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some of the key individuals who have helped this coalition take shape. They believe in our mission. They are committed to our cause. And they believe that we have to get out there and engage the community and ask for the Black vote.
Yes, sir.
Make America Great Again is a movement. And it has truly become a family affair. During the 2016 campaign, as you may all recall, there was just a handful of people out there. Very small group. And this coalition thing began with a handful of women actually in North Carolina. North Carolina in the room? All right. So you may remember this. Tag teaming each other, campaigning for then candidate Trump. Before you knew it, we were on the road, traveling across the country in 2 SUVs. That turned into a wrapped bus. Since then, Laura Trump has given birth to 2 children, but we also credit her with giving birth to this coalition effort.
Awesome.
So I'd like to thank Laura Trump, who's with us today.
We love you, Laura.
So going from 2 SUVs to the bus, we now have a very well-staffed and highly sophisticated, well-oiled machine. Campaign manager Brad Carskill has exceeded expectations in the political arena and has doubled our budget without hesitation because he is also committed to our cause. So thank you, Brad, for your leadership. Donna McDaniel, chairwoman of the RNC, is in solidarity with Black voices. In fact, she and I have been talking about this since the inauguration and shared her efforts that she made when she was Republican Party chair of Michigan. She is a fighter. So I am very thrilled to have a woman like Ronna standing with us. So I'm very grateful for her presence. With Ronna McDaniels as co-chair, Tommy Hicks. The Republican Party is here and here to stay.
That's right.
So the question that I'd like to ask every Black Americans to think about before heading to the polls in 2020, knowing that Democrats have taken our communities for granted and have proven time and time again that illegals are priority over our families. Knowing that the first Black president did more for the children of illegals than our own. Knowing that not even Obama invested in minority businesses.
That's right. Tell the
Or
truth.
historically Black colleges.
Tell the truth.
But gave billions
Come on.
to a state sponsor of terrorism.
Yes, he
The
did.
nation of Iran.
Yes, he did.
Knowing that no one, and I mean no one, will ever have the guts to put America first, meaning Black America goes last. No one will have the guts to ever take on this task again. So my question that Black Americans should ask going into 2020 is, what do you have to lose by giving President Trump 4 more years to keep Black America great? Today is a new day. So join us and become a Black voice for Trump.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, Katrina. Good job. Here come my president. This is my president. I wouldn't care if he wasn't y'all president. It's my president. Oh, look, y'all. I got my auntie with me. Auntie, say hey. Everybody, that's my mother's sister. I love her. Her name is Gloria. There go Joe. Y'all know Joe. Joe, they see you on my line. Say what up. Okay, everyone. I think we're probably going to end and come back when the president comes out. Oh, Auntie, they saying hi to you on my line. See, hey, Auntie. Hey, Gloria. Y'all think I'm going to hang up and come back on when the president comes out. So y'all stay tuned. I'll be back. Let me show you all the audience first. Hold on. My hair's so stringy. Look, y'all. I'll be back when the president comes out.
Men and women who are not afraid to stand unequivocally in communities of color for the things that we believe in: small government, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and the rule of law. And because of an election this past Tuesday, I'm honored to stand here among you as the first Republican.
That's the first African American Attorney General in
Elected
Kentucky.
African American statewide office in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Yes! Go, black man!
I will say that it is the voters of the Commonwealth who made the final decision this past Tuesday to entrust me with this role. But might I add that it was the Republican Party of Kentucky that put forth a young black man as its candidate for this position. The Democrats in my state have never been able to say that. And I am mindful of the fact that President Trump and Vice President Pence took a risk in not only endorsing this campaign for Attorney General, but also stumping for it in Kentucky for me and the other Republican candidates. I hope my election is a validation of their support, and I am now ready to partner with our federal law enforcement community to improve public safety in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. But now I'm here to offer my support to them and to this coalition. I'm here to offer my warmest introduction for a man who daily demonstrates the utmost character and integrity in his efforts to help lead this nation. He's a man of great conviction and faith, a man who stands for principles and values of our party, a man who cares deeply for the downtrodden and marginalized, a man who, with the help of the Second Lady, has raised 3 incredible children who are also invested in the public affairs of this nation. In Scripture, we are taught that what the Lord requires of us is that we do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly in God. Allow me now to introduce the man who embodies and exhibits those qualities every day. My friend, the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence.
Well, hello, Georgia.
Hey!
It is great to be back in the Peach State. But I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And that is that Georgia and America need 4 more years.
Yeah!
And Black Voices for Trump is going to play a central role in delivering a great victory in November of 2020. So thank you all. Thanks for the warm welcome. It's great to see so many friends and familiar faces.
We love you, Mr. Vice
And
President.
also to be here, I love you too. Also to be here with some great heroes of mine, like the great Ben Carson. And how about an extraordinary leader in this community for America, Alveda King.
Yeah!
My great friend and a great champion for pro-growth policies and a great voice on the airwaves, Herman Cain.
Yeah!
Part of our team, Katrina Pierson.
Yeah!
And I don't want to leave out the amazing Laura Trump.
Yeah!
And I also want to say what a privilege it was. And you just heard a few minutes ago the quality, the character, the integrity of the first independently elected African-American statewide official in the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Attorney General-elect Daniel Cameron. Thank you for your service and your leadership. It really is an honor to be with all of you today. And I'm pleased to report to you that a friend of mine is on his way.
Yeah!
You know, 3 years ago today, Georgia and America voted to make President Donald Trump the 45th president.
That's
of the
right.
United States of America.
And we won.
And on that night, our new president pledged, in his words, to every citizen of our land that he would be a president for all Americans. And President Donald Trump delivered for every American. We gather here today for the launch of this historic coalition because Black Voices for Trump know that President Donald Trump has delivered for African Americans in every community, in every state in this nation. And with your voices, with your support, and with your prayers, I know this movement will reach more African Americans than ever before. And come Election Day 2020, I know that we'll re-elect President Donald Trump with a historic percentage of African Americans for 4 more years in the White House.
4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
You know, since the earliest days of this administration, President Trump has fought to give every American, of every race, creed, and color, the opportunity to live the American dream.
Yes.
And none more so than African Americans. As President Trump said just last month, African Americans built this nation.
That's right.
And we celebrate that proudly.
That's right.
Whether it's in the military, or in business, or education, or law enforcement, every day African Americans make extraordinary contributions to the life of this nation.
That's right.
In fact, African Americans have fought for this country since our nation's founding.
Come on now,
The very
Pence.
first American to give his life in our struggle for independence was Crispus Attucks, an African American.
Come on now.
African Americans have served in uniform in every conflict in the long and storied history of this nation. From the Fighting 54th at Gettysburg, to the Harlem Hellfighters in Belleau Wood, to the Tuskegee Airmen of World War II. African Americans have fought to defend the lives and liberties of every American. And this nation will always honor the service and sacrifice that they represent. And today, that tradition continues. Today, more than 222,000 African Americans are serving our country in the uniform of the United States. And in support of all the men and women of our armed forces, President Donald Trump has already signed the largest increase in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan, including the largest pay raise for our armed forces in more than 10 years. And on this eve of Veterans Day weekend, thanks to the leadership of President Donald Trump, our veterans, including 2.5 million African American veterans, finally have access to the real-time, world-class health care that you earned in the uniform of the United States. We've reformed the VA, and Veterans Choice is now available for every veteran in America. I can tell, looking at this crowd, that there's more than a few men and women that wore the uniform who are here. So would you not, if you served in our armed forces, would you just put your hand in the air and let us show our thanks to you?
My baby a veteran. No, baby. My baby is vet, y'all.
You know, the truth is, our military is stronger. We're honoring our veterans. And that's a story that we need to tell to every community in this country. And Black Voices for Trump will tell that story of providing for the common defense for our military and our veterans to every community in this nation. While we're here. And beyond security, this president promised to get the American economy working again for every American.
Yes, he did.
And did President Donald Trump deliver?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Y'all can hate all you want.
And right out of the gate, the president went to work to get this economy rolling again. It's amazing to think the most powerful economy in the history of the world hadn't grown by more than 2% for the last 8 years in the last administration. President Trump went straight to work. We cut taxes across the board for working families and businesses, large and small. We rolled back regulation at a historic level. We've unleashed American energy, and America will now soon be a net exporter of energy for the first time in 75 years. This president has stood strong for free and fair trade, put American jobs and American workers first, and with the strong support of Senator Tim Scott, we've created nearly 9,000 opportunity zones, bringing billions of dollars of investment to inner city communities across America.
Come on now.
And the result? The American economy is booming.
That's right.
From Election Day 3 years ago today, businesses large and small have created 6.7 million new jobs, including 1.2 million jobs for African Americans. 3 years ago today, the unemployment rate for African Americans was over 8%. Today, the unemployment rate for African Americans is the lowest level ever recorded in the history of this country, and the black poverty rate is at the lowest level ever.
Come on now. Tell the truth.
And the American dream is working again for every American.
That's right.
And the stock market is soaring, strengthening the pension and the retirements of
Media keep
Americans
lying.
all across this country.
Tell the truth.
I mean, it's an incredible record of success for every American. And it's a record that we know that Black Voices for Trump is going to be able to carry to every community in every state in this nation. And President Trump also promised. He promised to stand for law and order in every community in this land. And this president promised to stand with the men and women who serve on the thin blue line of law enforcement, including more than 100,000 African American law enforcement officers who serve today. And President Donald Trump delivered. As I stand before you today, violent crime is down. And under the president's leadership, we're waging an unprecedented fight against opioid abuse and addiction in America. Amen. And in the last year, for the first time in over a decade, overdose deaths from opioid abuse and addiction are on the decline in America. We're making progress. So it's been about standing with the men and women of law enforcement. It's about standing for law and order. It's about making progress. But making progress in opioid abuse and addiction, but it's also been advancing the cause of justice. And after years of one administration after another just talking about it, President Donald Trump delivered criminal justice reform. You know, the truth is, President Trump promised to defend the rule of law. As the Attorney General-elect just said a few moments ago so eloquently, his president promised to defend the rule of law and uphold all the rights of every American enshrined in the founding documents of this country. And once again, President Donald Trump delivered. As I stand before you today, this president has already appointed more than 150 principled judges to our federal courts at every level, including Justice Neil Gorsuch and Justice Brett Kavanaugh. I can tell you firsthand, having met so many of these men and women, they're all principled conservatives who will defend all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion.
That's right. That's right.
The freedom of speech.
That's right.
And the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And at a time when 1/3 of all abortions in this country end the life of unborn African Americans, I couldn't be more proud to stand with a president and a party that stands without apology for the
Save the baby!
Yes!
Save the baby!
Save the baby!
Save our children!
Save the
So
baby!
it's about security.
Amen.
It's about prosperity and jobs. It's about life and liberty for African Americans and every American. And those of you that are gathered here today at this historic launch of Black Voices for Trump, that's our message. And we're going to carry that message all across this land. That America is safe again.
Yes.
America is prosperous again.
Yes.
The truth is, for African Americans and every American, we've made America great again. But to keep America great, we need all of you to lend your voices. Black Voices for Trump, everyone across this country, to carry our message to every community of every state of every nation. To tell our fellow Americans of every race and creed or color that African Americans and every American need 4 more years.
Yeah!
So thank you for allowing me to join you for this historic kickoff. I wouldn't miss it for the world. This is a special day.
Thank you, President Pence.
It speaks about the reach of this movement all across this country. I see it everywhere I go. Americans from every background and every walk of life see in this president the kind of leadership that's made America safe again and made America prosperous again.
Yes.
And it's inspiring to see all of you gathered here for this historic kickoff. And I thank you for the honor of being able to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Pence.
But I want to encourage each one of you. I want you to go from here with confidence and faith. Go with confidence that America is winning again because of the leadership of President Donald Trump in the White House and all of our allies at every level of government. And go with confidence as you carry this message to every American in every community. Go with confidence that history is on our side. And remember the proud heritage of the Republican Party with African Americans. Ours is the party that was born in equality of opportunity. The first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, signed the Emancipation Proclamation, ended slavery, won the Civil War, and set our country on the path to a more perfect union. The first 3 African Americans elected to the United States Senate were Republicans.
That's right. Seats.
The first 21 African Americans elected to the House of Representatives were Republicans. There was a Republican president, Teddy Roosevelt, who invited Booker T. Washington to be the first African American to dine at the White House.
That's right.
There was a Republican president who put an end to separate but equal, sending federal troops to protect.
Come on now. That's right.
And I couldn't be more proud to be part of an administration and standing with a president who has renewed our party's proud commitment to equality of opportunity for all.
That's right.
And that's why Black Voices for Trump is so important. So I want to encourage you to bring all your enthusiasm. Bring the story of what this president has done for this community and for every American. Be ready to volunteer. Be ready to lend your voice. Because the election year is upon us. And election day is less than 1 year away. And most of all, I encourage you to get out there and tell the story. Tell the American people how we're more secure today. America's standing taller in the world again. Our military is stronger than ever before. Our nation's economy more prosperous than ever before. Our God-given liberties more secure and more protected than ever before. Go tell them how we've expanded opportunities like never before. And tell them how we share their values. Tell them that the Republican Party is their party. Tell them the Republican Party is where they belong. And finally, have faith. Have faith in this president, who I serve alongside every single day, who turns his face like flint against the wind, and has never stopped fighting to keep that promise he made 3 years ago today to be. And look at promises made and promises kept. If we'll go tell them the story of what this president has done for them, for their families, and their future. And finally, I encourage you to have faith. Have the faith that has always been synonymous with the historic African American community in this country, since before our nation's founding to this very day. You know, in March of 2010, I had the great privilege of co-chairing the annual Civil Rights Pilgrimage to Selma, Alabama, with a Georgia congressman named Joe Lewis. We went there that day to mark the 45th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. And we reenacted that march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I had my wife and children with me. It was a day
35 years ago. Because, you see, I grew up in Detroit, a bastion of liberalism. They call it progressivism now, they keep changing their name. But anyway, then from there to Boston, a bastion of liberalism. Back to Detroit, and then to New Haven, Connecticut, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Ann Arbor, Michigan, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Baltimore, Maryland, a bastion of liberalism. So I had no chance. I was a liberal. I was way out there. And then I did something that liberals are never supposed to do. I listened to a conservative. I listened to Ronald Reagan. And I said, you know, he doesn't sound like a horrible racist person. He sounds just like my mother. And at that point, I started thinking for myself. And that made a big difference. It made a big difference in my medical career, too. I didn't do what everybody else did. I always started thinking out of the box. How do you solve this problem? And that's the reason that God gave us these complex brains. Your brain has billions and billions of neurons, hundreds of billions of interconnections. It remembers everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard. It can process more than 2 million bits of information in 1 second. Would God give you something like that just so that you can be a sheep and follow what somebody else tells you to do? You can think for yourself. And, you know, don't you find it fascinating that so many people say the president's a racist? He's a horrible racist and everything he does. Well, you know, it seems to me like some years ago, Jesse Jackson actually gave the president an award in New York City because he offered so many opportunities to black people. Is that what a racist does? And then when he moved to Palm Beach, he was right on the forefront to fighting the clubs who were not admitting Jews and blacks. Does that sound like what a racist would do? He is the one who finally got the Second Chance Act done. Does that sound like what a racist would do? When he took office, he brought the office of HBCUs to the White House so it could get appropriate attention, more money than ever. Opportunity zones so that people could take this money and direct it to the places where people did not have opportunities before. An economy where you have the lowest unemployment rates for black people in history. And it goes on and on and on. Let me tell you something. If he's a racist, he's an awfully bad one. he needs to go get a lesson from the real racists. The people who look at somebody like you and they say because your skin is a certain color, you have to think a certain way. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you, and they start calling you names. Those are the real racists. But you know, the president believes that a rising tide lifts all boats. He doesn't believe in identity politics, and that's why he's doing things that work for everybody. We should be happy about that. And the media, they like to pick on him, any little thing. You know, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The only one who ever was perfect was Jesus, and they crucified him. And we need to just look at the big picture, think about all the incredible things that are happening. think for ourselves, and be missionaries. Go out and talk to your family, talk to your friends, help them to realize, because see, if all they're doing is looking at certain media, they don't even know about these things that we just talked about that he has done. And so they can perpetrate this horrible image of him being a bad person. It is absolutely not true. I work with him all the time. He's a wonderful person. He's become a good friend. You remember during the campaign when we were having a debate and I couldn't hear my name. I came out, I stood there, I was waiting to hear everybody else gleefully walk past. He was the only one who stood with me until they straightened it out. That's the kind of person that our president is. He is my friend, and he will be your friend as you get to know him. Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th president of the United States.
That's my president! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
I want to thank you. There's a big crowd of people outside. We couldn't get them in. But we want to thank you very much.
I know, I don't know the words. I'm just proud to be an American.
Carson.
I was trying to go along with it, y'all.
And Vice President Mike Pence, always been there. Great gentleman, great man. And I'm thrilled to be here in the heart of Georgia to launch our incredible new nationwide grassroots effort. Blacks, think of this, Blacks for Trump.
Yeah! Right. We for Trump, baby.
What do you prefer? Blacks for Trump or African Americans?
Blacks! Blacks for Trump! Blacks for Trump! Blacks for Trump! Blacks for Trump! Blacks for Trump!
This is one of the numbers we're going to get into it, but the support we're getting from the African American community has been overwhelming, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your courage and tenacity and devotion to really what's turning out to be a movement. This was like a movement in 2016. There was a movement of a lot of people. And by the way, you made up a good portion of that movement. You know that. 9 minutes. So good. When I hear you knocking them dead, you're all over the place. That's good. So it's supposed to work, right? Someday you'll have to save a ticket for me. I'll walk in with the First Lady and you'll be happy. Yeah. Seriously, when you're in Washington, I want you to let me know. Great job you did. Really appreciate it. With your help, we're going to travel all across the country to every community, urban, rural, and suburban, and we're going to campaign for every last African American vote in 2020.
Yes, we are.
At the beginning of our campaign, we took on the Washington lobbyists and the special interests and corporate media. See how that's working. They come at you, but you know what? We're winning. We're winning like nobody's ever won before. We took on the corrupt media. A lot of it's corrupt. And the political establishment that has failed America for decades and failed the African American community for decades. And we're starting to learn about things that we never thought were possible even. Exactly 3 years ago tonight, on November 8th, 2016, the people spoke and we took our country back. And this was we won an extraordinary victory for all Americans, and 1 year from now, we are going to win another incredible victory, and we are going to do it with a groundswell of support from hardworking African American patriots. And we know exactly what I'm talking about, because all together we've never done better. We've never done better than we're doing now. The Republican Party was the original home of African Americans. And it was a 100-year trip, if you think about it. Paris, it was 100 years, right? And now you're returning and coming back to the Republican Party. People forget Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And you're coming back in record numbers. We're going to make
see you, baby. He on stage.
We're going to give it really something. We're going to make it a chance that you take, but it's not a chance because you know exactly what's happening. You've seen, when I first came out and started talking about vote for me, that was taking a chance because I wasn't a politician. Now everything I said has come true, except more so, much more than we ever thought possible. When we look at the numbers, and we're going to go into the numbers, we're going to make 2020 a year of change in black communities all across the country. And black Americans will join our mission to protect their jobs, defend their safety, and create a brighter future for every citizen. Together we will make America greater than ever before. That's what's happening right now, and you're a big part of what's going on. We're delighted to be joined by Harrison Floyd of our Black Voices Coalition.
Yeah.
Harrison, you didn't even get a good location. That's right, you're doing so well, actually. You'll let other people have that good location. Harrison, thank you very much. And the co-chairs, Herman Cain and Pastor Darrell Scott.
My damn life.
He's so tough. I said, is he really a pastor? He said, he would take them apart. He would go into the enemy territory, take news, like CNN. He would take them apart. That was easy for you, though, wasn't it? Huh? Want to say a couple of words? Did you speak before? How much I come?
God bless everybody. One thing I learned from watching this master debater was, if I can't win the debate, I'm turning it into an argument. There's a scripture in the Bible, Jesus said of Abraham, he said, Abraham rejoiced to see my day. And he saw it and was glad. And we rejoice to see this day. We see it. We're glad about it. In 2015, 2016, a handful of black people were courageous enough to come forward and publicly announce their support for then candidate Donald Trump. And not only announce support, but actively stuck for him. Diamond and Silk and Paris Denard. Too many, I don't want to leave anybody out, but we saw the day when people would hear. For every 5 persons that criticized us, 1 person would hear us. And that 1 person caused another person to hear them. You know, courage is courageous. And once somebody steps up to the plate, others say, well, I can step up to the plate. Now look at it. You don't see nothing yet. There's nothing there. This is just a seed. Wait till we see the harvest in 2020.
And again, Diamond and Silk, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And a very special thanks to someone who has been with us right from the beginning, Katrina Pierson. Katrina Pierson. One of the first people I met. In fact, I don't think I was even running then, right? I said, I'm thinking about running. She said, that's a good idea. And I guess it was a good idea because we'll go back to that beautiful Oval Office, right? And we do a lot of things for a lot of people. Thank you, Katrina. Great job, you too. And a very special woman who is constantly defending me. Sometimes I don't need it, but sometimes I do. I will be the king.
Mom!
And we're delighted to be joined as well by former Governor Sonny Perdue. Where's Sonny? And now he's the head of agriculture. Sonny Perdue, the great Sonny Perdue. He's given away a lot of money from China. We take the money from China. We hand it over to the farmers. And Mrs. Perdue. So Sonny's now the, as you know, Secretary of Agriculture. And he's done an incredible job. Thank you, Sonny, very much. Well done. Thank you. And we have Senator David Perdue, where is Stanton? Great David Perdue, the Senator. And we just want to thank you, David. You have been so instrumental in the success of the state. We're doing well in the state. When we were campaigning, it wasn't really doing so good, Georgia, and now it's doing phenomenally well. So we want to thank David. We want to thank you. We want to thank you, great Governor Brian. I don't know if Brian's around here sometimes. So thank you, Brian and David and Sonny and everybody. You're incredible people. And we also have a couple of warriors that are incredible and have been right from the beginning. They help us with all of these witch hunts. Every week it's a different witch hunt. And we have Representative Rick Allen, you know. Thank you. Representative, meaning Congressman Buddy Carter. Jody Ice, you know. Jody, and a warrior that a few people have ever seen before. I watched him during the Mueller hearing, and a lot of people were very, very nervous when he started going after everyone. And he really has been. He's been incredible. And right at the forefront. And he's also a special man. His name is Congressman Doug Collins. Great job. Thank you. And you see that? Thank you, Doug. Does a great job for the state. We also have a first lady of this room. You know, our first lady? Nationwide. It's very popular, right? Yeah. We have a first lady in Georgia named Marty Kemp. He's really popular. Is Marty here? She loves the state. She knows everything about it, and she's made life a lot easier because life is not so easy for Brian. He's out there working all the time. So I want to thank you, Marty, very much. Thank you very much for being here. Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. Your Georgia Attorney General, Chris Carr. Chris and the Attorney General-elect of Kentucky is here. had a man running for governor who really worked hard, but he was down a lot. And almost won, and maybe he will. I think he's contesting it, is that right? I think he's contesting it. But we brought him up 19 points. And then the media said that was a bad night for Trump. But we also won 5 of 6 of the races. And the first African-American Attorney General in Kentucky's history. This is going to be a star. Let's hear it. Daniel Cameron. Wow, he won by a lot. He won by a lot. That was a lot of fun we had. We were there the night before, and it was some evening. But that was a tremendous record. You set a record, as you know, for what you were running for a long time too. When I ran for office 3 years ago, I looked at the bleak, dismal record of the Democrat Party and asked the African American community, what the hell do you have to lose? I came off stage that night and all these professional handlers, right? I don't have too many handlers because I said, I don't think they're going to like that. I said, no, look, because I read a list. Last in crime, last in this, last in home ownership, last in the economy, lowest wages, all of this stuff. And I said, wait a minute, I'm just reading off from this. And I said, wait a minute. And that's what I said. It wasn't just part of the script. I did my best work off script. I hate to say this, I did my best work off script. You never get in trouble when you don't follow the script. I do my best and my worst. It makes things very exciting. And that was my best work. I mean, it was a very important statement to be made because honestly, the Democrats have let you down.
Amen.
And then I made you a solemn pledge that whether you voted for me or not, I would be your greatest champion.
That's right.
And it was very well. It was a lot better this time because now you know that we do it. Now it's not just talk. Don't forget, I came not as a politician. I came as a businessman, and I said, we're going to do things that are going to be great. Businessman / television star, right?
Yes!
But I said, we're going to do a job. And so, but who knew? I mean, a lot of people, they didn't know what I picked good judges. They didn't know a lot of things. Now,